Yo, what's good, everybody? It's me, Weep here, back with part 4 for What If Naruto Had Ultra Instinct. If you guys are ready for this part and want to see more, make sure to hit the like button, comment down below what you think of the series, as well as my other series that I've got going on the channel, and subscribe to the channel for more. We are almost at 6,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for that. And yeah, so we'll be having more series to come. Let's just get right into this part. Leaves rustle, as well as sticks on the forest floor begin to move, as we see Sakura coming into view, sweating with dirt marks all over her, as she's running, or trying to, while carrying her two teammates Sasuke and Naruto. Sasuke passed out almost immediately after Naruto, with whatever thing that guy had done to him. She would wonder, as Sakura was staring back, worried about both her teammates, especially Sasuke not knowing what had happened to him, and Naruto was almost completely exhausted. She would continue to carry both of her teammates as she finally finds a safe grotto that she can leave them at to let them recover for a little bit. As Sakura lays the two down and rushes off to go get water from the stream on a cloth to cool down their foreheads as both of them are beginning to heat up. Suddenly, some rustling in the trees would come in. As Sakura would hear, she turns around. Suddenly, 3 sound ninja would come into view, as the 3 of them must begin to shout, "Sasuke! Where are you, Sasuke Uchiha? Our masters determined that we must find you and finish you off now." As they are screaming this into the forest, basically alerting every other team that's there that they're looking for Sasuke, Sakura would hide as she's scared, as we can see her eyes are wide open, watching carefully as her pupils dilate back in and out from fear. As the 3 would come into view of the grotto, suddenly Sakura would gulp as she decides she has to go and protect her teammates and fight off these 3 to prove to Sasuke and Naruto that she's useful. Yeah, right. And as she walks out there for kunai in hand, she would claim that she's going to defeat them there to protect Sasuke. As Sakura would say this mumbling, she would then rush into battle, running as fast as she can, which is slow. Not very fast, to be honest. As Sakura goes running towards the 3 sound ninja, they easily dodge out of all of her slashes and attacks, as eventually she gets grabbed from her hair by behind. As she asks what's going on, she can't see as she's being pulled backwards as they're shouting and looking for Sasuke. As Sakura's crying out, Rock Lee would come to save her as he feels that something's wrong and decides to go check up what's going on over there. As Lee would rush through the forest, jumping into the grotto area below, he would see the 3 sound ninja bullying Sakura. "Sakura!" Lee would scream in anger as well as defensiveness. He'd rush in as he tries to save her. Sakura would have cut her hair already as she was trying to fight off the one female sound ninja who was basically bullying her. Lee would come in with a flying leaf hurricane kick, knocking one of her out instantly, while Sakura is now defended by Lee. "Lee," she would say, as Lee comes into view, telling Sakura he's there now, and that she doesn't have to worry. Sakura and Lee would try to hold off the other 2 sound ninja who are still conscious, as the fight gets more intense. Lee is about to get taken down as Sakura isn't very useful as backup, as basically Lee's taking on the 2 of them by himself, and both of them are fairly strong, to be honest. Suddenly, a dark energy would come swarming off from the grotto in the entrance of the forest where she had left Sasuke and Naruto laying. Sasuke would begin to pull himself off the ground, and as he sits up, black markings on him would grow over him, with his black markings becoming more and more clear on his skin, as now the curse mark has spread across his entire body. As soon as Sakura turns around to see where Sasuke was, Sasuke would be in front of her, as she turns around bumping into him. Sasuke would walk forward calmly, as he grabs one of the sound ninja's arms, as he begins to twist them. Lee would ask Sasuke if he's alright, with Sasuke being unresponsive. As he slowly begins to continue twisting and twisting his arms, this sound ninja would continue to scream in agony as he can feel his very bones breaking as the windpipes that he had been gifted by Orochimaru begin to shatter inside. "Sasuke Uchiha, damn you!" Sasuke's cold eyes look down into his as he then pulls his arms behind his back, puts his leg up and begins pushing onto his spine, slowly dislocating his shoulders from his arms. The pain and severe burn he could feel in his limbs was unimaginable as Sasuke continues to completely beat down the sound ninja. with the last one being able to escape Sasuke's wrath. As Sasuke is just about to go after him, Sakura would finally do something useful, as she comes from behind and hugs Sasuke from behind, telling him that's enough. Almost immediately, as soon as Sasuke had gained the curse mark power, Naruto had woke up. As Naruto had woke up, he realized that he was back to normal, and his chakra had almost refilled. What had happened, he thought, as now we see what had happened to Naruto inside his dream. Inside Naruto's dream, we see multiple different colors, different shades of colors, flowing in and out, purples, blues, yellows, greens, aquas of any kind. As we see different shades of colors flowing all the way around him, suddenly, as soon as Naruto had fallen out of Ultra Instinct and had passed into this dream, it all became white and silver, dark and empty. It's almost the opposite of what had been before. We're inside of Naruto's head, his emotions, his thoughts and feelings. Almost nothing is there now, as Naruto's in a dreamless state of emptiness. This is where we hear her voice, the angels, and a melancholy as well as almost empty with no remorse or care in the world, saying, "I suppose, then, you have gained more mastery over it." Pfft, what a shame. As soon as she says this, however, Naruto would have woken up back in the grotto, as we now are back at present, him having forgotten everything that had happened during his dream, as well as the strange things he had seen. As Naruto was now on his way with Team 7, having said goodbye to Rock Lee, on the way to the tower to complete the second part of the Chunnin Exams, they would inevitably run into Kabuto. As Kabuto meets Naruto again, Naruto would greet him, along with Sasuke, who would still be in pain after having the curse mark receded. Sakura would also say hello to Kabuto and ask what's going on, when Kabuto would explain that there are many other shinobi camping out around the tower in order to pick others off, and that if they really wanted to get inside, then they'd probably have to team up in order to take them out. Naruto would agree with this plan of action, as Naruto's analytical mind is much sharper in this version of Naruto. He would agree that having more numbers would be beneficial as well, as his chakra pool has been halved, and probably will be so for the rest of the day, hopefully not having to finish the entire Chunnin Exams today. Naruto would then say that it's a good idea in his opinion, and that they should continue all 4 of them. Kabuto would join along with Team 7 as they run into the Mist Ninja and would take them out very swiftly. Naruto can use Shadow Clones whenever he's not in Ultra Instinct, so he'd mostly just use Shadow Clones Jutsu as his main ace up his sleeve to take people out. Naruto also has much stronger physical capabilities, as I've mentioned before, and his sensory abilities are off the charts. Naruto could easily pick out where the Mist Ninja would be, as he and Sasuke, along with Kabuto, would help take them all out. Kabuto would only use Taijutsu, as he doesn't want to reveal his cards just yet. As Naruto and Sasuke would finally make it to the tower, Kabuto would rush off somewhere, having completed with his scrolls. With now Naruto and Team 7 having also taken their scroll and completed the mission, they would see that they were one of the last teams to get there. As Naruto would sigh, saying it was that one guy's fault, because we see a flashback to the fight between him and Orochimaru. Iruka-sensei would be proud of Naruto, and Naruto would nod, thanking him. Iruka would say that the next part of the Chunin Exams would be taking place soon, and they should rest up. Sasuke would tell Naruto and Sakura to not tell anyone about what had happened in the forest, and to leave the mark alone, as he pulls his shirt over it so no one can see it. As Sasuke would then tell him that the fights will be starting soon, they should get some rest, Naruto would hop up to the stands as he lays down, falling asleep almost immediately to regain his strength. Luckily, Naruto and Kiba's fight would not take place for around another 13 minutes. After that time had passed and everyone had deducted that all the teams had been there, now the tournament would begin for the preliminary rounds of the Chunin Examination Tournament. Kiba and Akamaru would be tasked to fight Naruto. As Naruto is woken up by Sasuke telling him it's his turn, Sasuke would nod, telling Naruto to do his best. Sasuke would then smirk as he then tells Naruto he already knows he'll win though. Naruto would nod as he laughs, saying this will be a cinch. As he jumps out into the arena down below, Kiba would look at him with his eyes getting already narrowed, as he knows what Naruto's thinking. You think just because you have stronger sensory abilities than I do means that you're going to beat me? Well, don't you forget that I have Akamaru here with me. Immediately as Akamaru and Kiba come flying towards Naruto using their Fang over Fang attack, Naruto looks up with his one eye as he stares into Kiba's eyes, tracking him through the spinning. Kiba just is about to connect against Naruto, then moves out of the way suddenly as he knows. As he's sitting against the wall, his eyes look terrified. As Naruto then asks, "What's wrong, Kiba?" Kiba would turn around as he can sense danger and smell it all around Naruto. Every time he attacks, Naruto would then see Kiba flying a fang or a fang, dodging out of Naruto's range almost instantly as soon as he gets within it. Naruto would smirk as he then asked Kiba if he's really that afraid of him. Everyone in the stands would be watching, as Kiba's beginning to sweat already, as Kiba's just about to throw a punch towards Naruto. Naruto would continue staring him down, his eyes locking into Kiba's, when Kiba's knees would fail him. He'd fall to the ground as he punches it, saying he can't do it, as he still sees the red signs all around Naruto, saying from whatever side he'd attack, he would fail. Kiba would voluntarily give up, with Naruto not having to move the entire fight. As he walks away, he would then throw him a bone, quite literally, as he then says that Akamaru actually did a pretty good job, though, with him laughing as he gets up to the stands. Kiba would be ashamed of himself, with Naruto helping him up anyway, as he had told him that if he really wanted to get stronger, he has to fight opponents even if they are going to beat them. If you don't try, you'll never know, right? Kiba would sigh, as he knows that Naruto had completely taken him in that fight. As Naruto goes to the stand, Sasuke would be in awe, not because of Naruto exactly, but because of the way he had won. He'd think that he destroyed Kiba by literally standing there and doing nothing, and Sasuke would hope to get just as awesome of a victory. Sakura wouldn't care, but Hinata wouldn't even offer the cream in this time, just because Hinata doesn't really think Naruto needs it. He did nothing. Anyway, Sasuke's fight would begin with that other sound ninja who had been there, who has the ability to drain chakra. And as he touches Sasuke, Sasuke would lose some more of it. Sasuke is forced to use taijutsu the entire fight and would never really defeat him, just like he did in the original. As Sasuke finishes his fight, the fight with Gaara and Lee would come up. Lee and Gaara's fight would go pretty much the same in the original. However, in this time, Naruto, who would be sitting there almost indifferent against the fight, 3 seconds before Gaara was about to crush Lee's leg, Naruto would stand up as he grabs the railing, yelling out loud for Lee to hear. "Lee, get out of the way! He's about to..." Just as he says these words, however, Lee would look up as the sand crunches around his leg, crushing his leg bone. Naruto would be in shock as he had no belief that Gaara was actually going to do that, but every sense in his body was saying that the bloodlust coming off of Gaara was 100% real. He could feel Gaara's bloodlust from here, as Gaara looks up at Naruto. Naruto completely grinding his teeth as he tells Gaara that was unnecessary. Gaara would walk away as Guy helps Lee up and asks if he's alright. Lee would be taken to the infirmary with the medical ninja immediately, as he had his left leg damaged badly. Naruto would tell Gaara that he's going to pay for that, in a soft tone of voice, as he stares him down, his face not even trembling with rage, and just staying absolutely still. However, this would all change during Hinata and Neji's fight. As Naruto sees Hinata and Neji, he actually is quite interested in this fight due to seeing their gentle fist style, which is very similar to Ultra Instinct in the fact that it's precise movements and tries not to waste any motion. However, as Hinata and Neji's fight continues, Naruto would be watching as he can sense and see the damage that Hinata is taking. "Neji, stop, you don't need to..." As Neji's about to land a few more hits, he can see he's about to use one of his tri-palm attacks of the Hyuga clan. This time, Naruto doesn't hesitate, as Kakashi watches with interest as Naruto suddenly moves forward, kicking his feet off the rail at faster speeds than he had ever seen before. As Naruto moves forward at full speed, just as the last tri-palm is about to hit Hinata, causing her severe damage which could almost cripple her, Naruto would come in as he grabs and blocks every single one of the trigrams with equal speed, not even having to use Byakugan. Neji would be locked eyes with Naruto having been there immediately between Hinata and Neji. "You know, after seeing the last fight of Gaara, I think you know that you've gone too far, Neji, Hyuga." As he would say this, Neji would sigh, as he says that he shouldn't get involved in others' fights, as destiny had provoked that he would defeat Hinata this way. Just as Hinata's about to fall to the floor, Naruto would help Hinata from behind, as he catches her and lays her down softly on the ground. Neji walks away, with Naruto following him with his eyes the entire time. Medical ninjas show up as Hinata thanks Naruto, with this time her not being in such a critical state. Naruto on the inside would be furious, however, as he looks at Neji, and he vows that even though he had almost let 2 of his friends suffer the same fate of being destroyed in just a tournament fight, he won't let that happen again, no matter what. Naruto would then go back up to the stands, jumping high as he catches onto the ring and grabs himself over the railing. As he pulls himself over, Sakura would be watching and saying that was unnecessary, with Naruto giving her a look as if though she was joking. Sakura would huff as she then looks at Sasuke and asks how he's doing. Now Sasuke and Kakashi would go down to the basement floor below, as he would then take his ceiling on him, As the seals used on Sasuke's curse mark would be sealed, Orochimaru would confront Kakashi and Sasuke just like in the original, and then he would flee. Now, the tournament was basically over. All the matches would be decided now in 1 month. Naruto would breathe out with ease, as he had almost used up all his chakra in that last stunt he had used with catching all of Neji's attacks. Naruto looked down at his hand and he sees he has one small cut. Naruto would be shocked as he sees his own blood for one of the very few times he's ever seen it. Naruto, like Gaara, is not used to seeing his own blood because of the ultimate defense he had with Ultra Instinct for such a long time. So Naruto smirks when he's impressed that Neji might actually be able to defeat him if he can do more hits like this. Naruto would get up as he says goodbye to Kakashi and Sasuke, saying he's going to go work on his own for a while. As Sasuke would then say goodbye to Naruto, telling him he'll meet him back here in a month, back for the Chunnin Exams, Naruto would nod, as Naruto, Gaara, and Neji all lock eyes for 1 second before they all leave, with them eyeing each other down. As Naruto leaves, with him being clearly in a bad mood, he would then go into the forest. Naruto, who now can let down his cool demeanor, then punches a tree. The tree would get ripped out of its roots as it goes flying, with him screaming, "Damn it!" as he sees Rock Lee's leg getting crushed in his mind over and over again. After he had vowed that he wouldn't let any of his friends get hurt back in the forest of death against Orochimaru, he let it happen again by someone else. Bushy brows, Naruto would say. As Jiraiya is watching from a distance, Naruto would then continue walking away. Jiraiya would approach Naruto as he asks him if he would be interested in training underneath him, with Jiraiya actually being more interested in Naruto this time around than Naruto following Jiraiya. Naruto would ask what's up with him, old man, as Jiraiya would laugh, saying that he's Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sannin, the Toad Sage. Naruto wouldn't know who this is, as he didn't know who the Sannin were in the original anyway, but he would still consider it and say if Jiraiya can land a single hit on him, then he'll train underneath him. Jiraiya would smirk as he says if this is really a challenge. Naruto would nod as the fight between him and Jiraiya Sensei would begin. Jiraiya would lurch forward as he tries to land a kick on Naruto. Naruto slightly moves his face backwards, not even getting scratched or hit by this attack. As Naruto and Jiraiya continue to fight in taijutsu, Naruto dodges out of the way of all of Jiraiya's attacks, not having to even go into Ultra Instinct yet. As Naruto continues to dodge, suddenly Jiraiya decides to pick up the pace and decides to take this a little more seriously. Jiraiya throws a serious punch towards Naruto's chest. As Naruto's eyes widen, Naruto's barely able to get out of the way in time. However, I win, Jiraiya would say. Naruto would be shocked as he looks down, seeing that one of Jiraiya's legs had kicked him in the side of his left ankle, causing Naruto to fall over. Wow, old man, you're actually pretty strong, he would say, as Naruto had gone completely serious in that fight, trying to evade Jiraiya in every which way. Jiraiya would smirk, saying he is one of the legendary Sannin after all. Jiraiya in his head to be thinking, though, that this kid is ridiculously fast, and that for being so young himself, his strength is off the charts. Naruto would then tell Jiraiya he hadn't even been using most of his power yet, but if he had, he probably wouldn't have used it against Jiraiya anyway. Jiraiya would ask what he means when Naruto would explain more about what had happened to him as a kid, and why everyone had always avoided him and called him weird. Jiraiya would tell him that he doesn't think he's weird, and that if he really was weird, he should just be who he is anyway. As Naruto would say if he really thinks it's that easy. Jiraiya would tell him to come with him as they go out into the mountains together to train for the next month. We see fragments of their training as Jiraiya is trying to teach Naruto the summoning jutsu. As Naruto tries to bite himself, Naruto realizes that he can't do it to himself, as Naruto already has that instinct that has been put into him since a child that he can't harm himself. Jiraiya, if you wouldn't mind, could you... Naruto would pull his hand forward, as Jiraiya would gently cut his thumb for him, as Naruto would say thanks. Naruto would use the blood, of which is very rarely seen, to summon the Toad Summoning. As he summons Gamabunta without even needing the Kyuubi's chakra, Gamabunta would ask who had summoned him. Naruto would say it was him, as now the challenge to see if Naruto can stay on Gamabunta for one whole day without falling off would begin. Naruto would stand on Gamabunta with 2 feet, standing up, not even holding on, as he purely uses his chakra to attach himself to Gamabunta. Do what you want, Naruto would say, as Gamabunta begins moving around fiercely. Immediately as Naruto is being jostled around, he doesn't even move from his spot, as Naruto's chakra connection to Gamabunta is now completely set. Naruto closes his eyes as he focuses on his chakra connection the entire time, keeping his connected to Gamabunta's the entire day. Gamabunta would be sweating and coughing as he says that this kid is really unshakable, and he tried everything to distract him, but it just didn't work. Naruto would open his eyes as he tells Jiraiya that he's passed now, as he desummons Gamabunta. Jiraiya and Naruto begin to come up a way for that Naruto to be able to use the summoning jutsu. However, until then, with them having more than half a month left to train, Jiraiya would begin training Naruto in the power known as the Rasengan. The day had finally arrived, as Naruto is walking calmly into the stadium. As Naruto now has a new jacket with a hood on it, similar to the one that we can see in the thumbnail, Naruto now calmly lifts his hood, as his actual jacket jumper suit from before had been destroyed during training with Jiraiya. Naruto then hops up to the arena stage. Naruto would greet Sakura and ask if Sasuke's there yet. Sakura would say she likes the new look, and then tells him that Sasuke hasn't arrived yet. Little do they know that Sasuke's got a new outfit as well. Anyway, back to the Chunnin exam itself. We see that Naruto, as well as Sakura, would witness the first fight between Shikamaru and Temari. It would go the same as the original, Shikamaru giving up and proving that he knows when to flee, as the third Hokage would put it, with Shikamaru being definitely declared as a Chunnin. Suddenly, after many rounds, it's finally time. Naruto's turn to fight. Naruto would be fighting Neji Hyuga. Naruto would smirk as he says he's really ready to try this one now, as Naruto jumps into the arena below, now containing his emotions and feeling it himself. He decides that he'll give Neji a good scare, as he hasn't ever seen this before, and he decides he wants to flex his power to the stadium, just to show everyone that even though he was the weird kid, and even though he is the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, which he's now learned from Jiraiya himself, that he can still defeat one of the legendary Hyuga clan. As Naruto walks into the side of the arena from his side, and Neji does as well, the announcer begins to state his claim as the fight is about to begin. Everyone's ready for this fight, as they've heard that Naruto is the person who actually defeated Zabuza, one of the demon swordsmen of the mist, and that Neji is one of the strongest of the Hyuga clan. This is one of the most looked forward to fights other than Gaara versus Sasuke. It's easily almost tied, actually. As Naruto and Neji's fight begins. "So, Neji Hyuga," Naruto would say calmly, "how do you want to be defeated? Would you let me at full power, or would you want me to go easy on you? Both of them will be just as humiliating and painful, after I'd seen what you've done to Hinata in front of everyone." Neji would laugh. He says if he really thinks he can defeat him, then he should go at him full power. Naruto would smirk. He says that he's going to regret that. Suddenly, Naruto would begin walking forward, calmly, with slow steps at a time. 1 step, 2 step. Neji would then ask what he thinks he's doing, as Naruto's hair begins to change colors as Naruto's eyes have closed. His eyelashes and eyebrows begin to glow, as Naruto now accesses his full power as he activates Ultra Instinct. Naruto opens his eyes, with them now shining pure silver. Naruto now flashing between Omen Ultra Instinct and Mastered Ultra Instinct. "Neji Hyuga, I'm going to defeat you with 1 finger," as Naruto holds up his pointer finger. Neji would now be scared as he just sees Naruto change his hair color and ask if that's all it does, with him now beginning to feel a bit shaken. Suddenly, Naruto would move forward almost instantly, as his finger is now directly at Neji's forehead, his fingernail pressed into the leaf headband. Neji would have no time to react as everyone in the crowd is shocked, with Naruto having been almost 50 meters away from him and almost instantly teleporting towards him. As Naruto says nothing now, him now falling completely into Ultra Instinct, holding on just a bit so he can turn it off after the fight's done, Neji would be into fighting back, as Naruto dodges out of every attack. 64 palm strike! As Neji begins turning and using all of the palm strikes he knows in the gentle fist attack, Naruto dodges out of every single one, moving faster than Neji can even see of his Byakugan. As Neji continues to spin and use his ultimate defense that he has, Naruto continues to easily dodge out of the way. Neji spins to block any kunai that Naruto would throw at him at fast speeds. However, this is just a ploy. As Neji's now spinning, Naruto would walk forward as he takes his 1 pointer finger. Naruto, like a physician or a surgeon, would then gently take his 1 finger as he then tells Neji that it's over. Neji would then momentarily ask what's going on, when suddenly, Neji would pass out. Naruto, like a surgeon, had carefully used his finger to go and chop through Neji's defense, as Naruto easily defeated it, causing Neji to go spinning backwards as he goes flying into the wall. Neji completely knocked out with 1 hit. Naruto Uzumaki is the winner. Naruto would deactivate Ultra Instinct as he then feels it. Naruto would then begin to concentrate as he needs to conceal Ultra Instinct immediately, as turning it on and off so suddenly it would be his undoing. As Naruto then contains Ultra Instinct, he pushes all of his chakra against her power. I don't need it anymore. Right now, I need to turn it off. Naruto would be focusing as hard as he can, when suddenly, he then breathes out. I did it. The angel will be smirking, and is also a little annoyed as Ultra Instinct hadn't been able to overpower Naruto in this instance. Naruto would hold his hand up smiling, as his hair is now back to its normal golden color. Naruto would walk off the arena, as Neji Hyuga is staring at Naruto from behind. Naruto would turn around as he tells Neji that he knows why the Hyuga clan is how it is, and he'll change it one day, for sure. Naruto would walk off stage, and many of the girls in the crowd would say that he's so cool, with Sakura not getting it at all. As Naruto has now defeated Neji, Gaara would be immensely impressed with this, and also worried. Having seen his speed and power for himself, Naruto defeated one of the strongest Genin in their year with one finger. Suddenly, Sasuke Uchiha would arrive, as the fight begins with Gaara. If you guys want to see the next part for What If Naruto had Ultra Instinct, make sure to hit the like button, comment down below what you thought, and subscribe to the channel for more. I will see all of you guys later. Bye.